But I wanted us to continue, but before we do, we haven't touched on drugs that much.
Yeah.
We really just looked at it and
we kind of spoke about substance abuse.
Yeah.
But
lightly. But I feel like the whole concept of it is, if it gets to a point where it's abuse, they become numb. Like they use it for a way to numb themselves. And just based on the whole paper that we got, we see the progression and everything, and how for them they've gone through a lot, and they, like, the last two things were like their coping mechanism to what they've gone through, because there's mental health, and lesbianism, then drugs. And I'm just like, for them to get to that point, it means that any support group that was around them, or any person that was around them, they didn't feel like they were in a place where these people were helping them, or these people were present for them. And then they lead themselves to a numbness, which is drugs. And they feel great, high for a bit, and come back to the reality of life.
That just goes back to sin, because I feel like people just overhype sin. Sin isn't that just this crazy thing. You actually need to be whole. Like, sin is an illegitimate response to a legitimate need. Like, you want love, you want intimacy, so you think sleeping around with people is gonna fill that void. You're trying to fill yourself up with placebos. It's like drinking salty water after a hot day. That is it's not going to quench your thirst, but you'll still try drink it. But now, like, God, who is the living water, will set you on the right path. Like, one drink, you're good, you're set. Like, what's it called? Quencher? I'm done. I'm good.
But I think, like, with mental health, like we said, just speak about, like, find someone you can talk to that can help you through the.
God won't heal what you won't reveal. Really,
it's easier said than done.
Yeah, it is. But then, just because it's hard to do doesn't mean it's impossible.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but one thing that I've noticed is, you can go tell someone, yo, I need help. And they're like, damn, that's tough. Anyways, my day was so bad. Like, bro, this is not always about you, Like, I also have problems. And I feel like drugs most of the time.
Do you know why that is? It's because young people, or like, you find someone who's the same age as you, or exactly where you are, and they're not going to be able to help you because they're struggling with the exact same thing. So you have to find someone who's got even just one step further to be able to tell you, okay, hey, I went through the same thing, this is how I did it. And so find someone a bit older, a bit more, I don't know, farther along in what you've got.
Find someone the exact same age. Finding someone the exact same age as you, wouldn't that make it easier to have conversation? Because you'd be like, you did this too? Porn addiction too? I thought I was the one who had this.
Misery does love company. The problem with that is that it doesn't help. It doesn't solve the problem. So if we're all going through the same thing, yes, we can be like, oh, thank God it's not just me.
But they overcame it. Because, look, comfort wants company.
Circumstances where they can solve it together. Because the element of talking to someone older than you, they've gone through this and everything. There's that too. They can belittle you or not take your issues as, like,
talk to your resident pastor.
And then if your person's like related to your parents in, like, any way, like, that's
it's kind of hard, because
or he's like in your social circle and he's older than you. It's, to me personally, I would feel
a bit scared
because sometimes people get mentioned to each other. They don't say like what you said, but it will just somehow come out.
I feel like it's also a thing of, you're scared of how they'll see you after this.
And how they perceive you.
Yes.
Like, one day I was talking to my friend, and she told me, I'm going to tell you this, but please don't look at me differently.
And I remember also telling you that as well.
Because, like, that means that so many people have looked at her differently,
Or it's such a crazy thing that the perspective will be changed. Like, if I tell you I've been addicted to drugs for like the last 10 years. Like dang. Yeah.
You don't think that's just like,
it was crap?
It's more in your head than it is in the other person. Like, if you go out genuinely seeking for help to someone more mature spiritually or like older, I don't think they'd look at you and be like, man, you're such a terrible person.
Like, I get what you mean in terms of you have to speak out, and I know it's tough at first, but it goes to the same concept of, in your head you'll think about a lot of things.
True.
Like you'll go through everything, and for you the first option is, let me talk to my friends because we're the same age, we relate to each other, let's see what they have to say. Because the first option can't be let me talk to a grown up because they might have something.
Yeah, there could be connections there. You know,
like
how his mom's.
huyo msichana wako, be careful. You know?
Exactly.
No, I think what we're saying is, like, we're not saying that it should be the first option. We're just saying for you to, if you're genuinely desperately looking for help and not just sympathy, go get someone who's older. That's the advice. Like, go find someone more mature to speak to actually help you navigate this space.
But you know, I feel like
if you're looking for comfort, fine, get it from your friends. But that doesn't necessarily help the situation.
So in terms of age, like how old?
I just mean peers. I don't necessarily. It doesn't.
No,
but
I'm saying
you
like
would
the
have,
people you'd go to seek for help. Would you say like 4 years, 5 years, or like a good 7, 10 years kind of?
I don't
age
know.
group?
That's just up to like.
Just
You said
anyone.
older.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily like I can't
a
say
later stage of life.
oh, they have to be 5 years older. Yeah, it's just
I'm
like
not saying
someone
an
who's
exact
just
age, but I feel
just
like someone who's
one
who's-
step further than you. It
So-
could be the same age, but they're just one step further than you.
So you've mentioned something about comfort. If these two age mates, they'll just sink deeper into it. But let's just say I'm 19 and he's 19, oddly, and he was struggling with drug addiction, right? And I struggled with that at 15. So now we're both at 19. I've broken through that. I've fought the battle. Now when we talk to each other, I'm like, I went through this. Let's do this together. And since we're the same age, it's like
That's what I just said.
we're able to.
Yeah, I say, you know,
So
it
can
should
it
be
be an
a
option?
step further
it can be
spiritually.
it can
That's
be the
thing.
same age, but I think from interacting with your friends, you know your friends and you know the people around your circle who are
Clowns.
more mature, more responsible. You know, there's that interaction. You know that if I go to this person, I know they're more spiritually mature than I am. So as I think Bato mentioned, it doesn't have to be, I don't know, 10 years or anything. It could be your age mate, but you can see from their character and from their life and from your conversations and your interaction that they are more sound than you are. Yeah.
Okay, so from my paper it says death and sickness.
We have touched on grief, so let's just do sickness.
So
Sickness is also really hard. Like, I always feel like taking care of a person who's sick, like the people really focus on the sick person. People forget to focus on the caregivers because
True.
it takes a toll on them as well. It's very draining.
Watching this person that you love
deteriorate
constantly.
It's very mentally taxing, emotionally taxing, spiritually. So I just would say, like Amanda said in the beginning, just check on your friends, man. Like, I don't know that there's
I feel like
and help out any way possible. Be it something as simple as
I'm going to
cooking
be
them a
controversial
meal.
here for a second. Check, note to self, check your jiggly bits. Cancer is a thing. Testicle cancer is a thing. Breast cancer is a thing. It go like all this. Yeah. Yes, check your jiggly bits. That's all I'm gonna say. Check your jiggly bits because bad things happen. I feel like sickness, you know, sickness is so random. Like I got pneumonia back to back like 4 times last year. This year, actually.
it's like Benji's, you know. No, but it is cold. It is type of.
Yeah, it's my type of cold, but like,
Sorry, dude.
I rebuke that. Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sickness is, especially if it hits you that this sickness is, let's say, terminal, something like cancer, flies, oh my gosh, schizophrenia or something like that, like something that is life-threatening, and it's so crazy, especially if it's, let's say if Amanda told me that she had cancer, God forbid, ain't no way. Or let's say my mom or my dad, something of that sort. Like it's such a crazy thing to do, and I feel like we always anticipate, especially with the people that we love, it's like they're gonna be here forever. Like sickness is such, it's like a reality that death is a possibility.
Yeah.
It's real, and I feel like one thing that the sickness teaches people, or people who have had like people in their lives who they loved who had passed away due to sickness, is that time is limited. Like we have very little time. Like the time that we have is like a blip in history. We have so little control of our lives, and the people that are around us are so important that we miss to understand that because we're so consumed by social media and all these things. And I think sickness, it's unfortunately the beauty of death, knowing that time is precious. I think you finally understand that when a person passes away due to any types of sickness or just in any way in general. So when it comes to sickness, I think first off, check up on your friends. Make sure that people are all right. Check your jiggly bits. It's controversial. It's a controversial statement, but really just do. And also prioritize health. I think on this camp we have learned that if you're not good health-wise, then you will struggle a lot because like running around, working out, all that stuff, exercise, eating well, drinking water as well. As in, it's essential for life. I mean, God was kind of hovering it above it before creation. That kind of says it's something important. And drink water, eat well, work out, exercise, all the essentials.
Let's bring back the culture of visiting the sick in hospital. I feel like we now leave it for specific people.
True.
Like just like it should be habitual that maybe, I don't know, quarterly or like whatever time you can, just take time, visit people in the hospital, pray for them. And I think it also gives you the reality check that Benji's talking about, that time is actually very limited. And you're actually more grateful for your own health when you see what people are going through. You learn, wow, like I do take this for granted.
That kind of broke my heart about seeing, like, because I visited the church last week, Setam Nakuru, and they were mourning one of the people who passed away the week before, and he had two sons. One was finishing Form 4 and the other one was in Class 6. And these guys, they decided that they never got to visit him in hospital in his last days because they were so busy with exams, and he was starting, and especially the one who was in year 6, I felt so like pain for him because this is his dad, but he's being told, no, stay in school, he'll be fine. And it's also a decision that he made. He's like, I don't want to see my dad because one, I'm scared that something might happen, and two, I need to study anyways, I don't have the time. And the fact that he wasn't able to visit his own dad in hospital, and then he's getting this news just a few hours before his exam happens that his dad passed away. It's so painful because we always just expect like our parents like
to live,
live forever, and it's unfortunate that because we need to prioritize each other and love each other more because we're not going to be here on this earth forever. So
people should be the priority. Exams you can always do them again.
You can retake. It's never that deep.
It's never that deep.
It's never that deep. It's never that deep. It's never that deep. Like that degree might be sitting in your house, but all the people that you bribed along the way.
But still study.
We're not saying be stupid. Just study for sure. We're not saying be dumb. It's never that deep though. It's never that deep.
So making friends with certain people. That's an interesting way to
kind of
spell
vague.
But certain people.
English is hard.
Can you guys hear me? Certain people. I think this refers to talked about.
That was their struggle.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing negative influence.
Yeah.
That's the way.
But maybe they mean certain people, but like
I don't think it would be a struggle to make friends with negative, right? Negative influence.
Certain people.
No, what is a struggle? A struggle is something. Is it that
struggled making friends?
Yeah.
Struggling making friends with certain people.
Sorry?
The struggle is making friends with some certain people.
So what are this?
So I'm guessing that it's targeted, essentially. Yeah. So they made friends with a certain group of people, certain people who were not good for them. What we'd like to call toxic.
I don't think that's. I think it's not wrong. I don't think the person said wrong influence. I think they said.
Oh, that's the struggle.
Their struggle was making friends with certain people.
Something that I noticed when we were filling this out, many people confused the assignment with struggle and regret. One regret that they had. Oh. Yeah, so I'm guessing it could be either. Yeah, so I'm guessing
regret would make more sense.
Yeah, it would make sense if it was regret. Struggle is different.
Okay, whether it's regret, struggle, making friends, it depends with what certain people, like in terms of what kind of friends you're looking to make. Are you looking for positive influence? Are you looking to be among your peers? I think overall, when you're making friends, like what are the underlying guidelines when you're seeking out friends, Amanda?
I feel like when I look for friends, my two main focuses are people who can help me and influence me well, and people that I can laugh with.
Is that why you became friends with me?
Yeah. No, you're not funny. I'm joking. But like, yeah, like Benji, he's one of my closest friends. He's someone who can genuinely help me. And I can tell him anything and I will not feel judged. And I'll always feel ready to tell him anything. And okay, I'll be ready to tell him most things. And and like there's some, and he can make me laugh. Like this other day he really made me laugh. I was falling on the floor and everyone was looking at me like, what's wrong with you? So like there should be, in my perspective, there should be more Benjis in the world.
Oh, that's
because like,
wow, Benji.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, love you so much.
Honestly, I'm so proud that he's my friend because like, bro, like he's literally such a big part of the church and he helps me with what I'm going through. And like, for example, in working out, he helps me that he would like
say how you worked out today.
Yeah, he would
let's go walk, let's go run
you
together.
have to work out whether you like it or not, you know. So like those are the type of friends you need, not those people like, bro, see we go drink, you know. Who will buy them zinga? Is it you? You know? No, that's not the type of friends you should be looking for.
Yeah. Especially
what friends do you look for?
I'm surprised by the concept of looking for friends.
Friends look for you.
Yeah,
I mean that's one way.
All right.
That's just like like I feel like some friends you just stumble upon, others you
along the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
You like to say this friendship that these guys have. Like I'm pretty sure they met at church or maybe before.
Yeah.
But you see, they just found themselves in a common space and it just blossomed from there. But in terms of
there's people you meet though that then you're like, I don't even want to be near this person.
But for me, okay, I'm a special case, yeah, and like I feel like anything I say can and will be used against me, so I'll be very delicate with how I speak.
What you say.
But let me
just say
it a
you
bit because
misspoke.
this is a light topic. I'll be a bit lighter, but I like to see people even though I don't like them because I like to see the kind of chaos they bring.
I know
Not in my life,
what you mean.
But around, you know. And so the only way for me to see the chaos is to be around.
Yes.
You feel me? So not because I want it around me, but because I like to see it around me.
I think it's also the thing of whatever,
so
like being friends with all types of people, just so
Exactly.
you can
It's very
experience life from
exciting.
Like
very
that
different
one.
perspectives. I know they're crazy. We're gonna be friends.
But we're gonna be friends. Like
Exactly.
What?
But
yeah, you don't have that friend.
I feel like you should grow up like that.
Exactly.
Like be friends with
so,
a
so
lot
that
of
you see everything and be like, okay, this is not
Dang.
But you
God's
should
portion
have your
for me.
close
Yeah, you should have your
But
close
yeah,
circle of people. Yeah.
to add on to that, it's just like when it comes to making friends, I think sometimes people can just come, they act all nice and giddy with you just to get close to you, and then they switch up on you in the last minute, you know. And for me, I feel like once you get the core circle of friends, then all the other friends you have should be around that same concept. Because like if you have these 4 friends, you'll be like, these people have something similar in them, and this is the kind of thing I'm looking for my close friends.
Yeah, true.
But if it's outside of that, then they can be friends, but not my close friends. Like keep them at arm's length.
Yeah, I love that. But has anyone here ever struggled with making friends?
Yeah, me.
Yeah, same.
Oh wow.
Growing up was really tough.
Yeah, I was the weird kid who
Same.
sat under the slide. Yeah.
I was so flipping small. I used to get bullied so much actually, and I think that was what made me begin to become a people pleaser, of wanting to be friends with everyone to try and make everyone happy. And that was these flies. Oh my days.
Wow.
Anyways, that I was smaller than everyone else up until like year 7. I was like 4'10". I was just incredibly small. And then I was also like very smart. So I was like a nerd and I was kind of condescending. So I give that one to myself. I think I'd like to think I was a very sweet child.
Yeah.
I'd like to think.
Sweet and condescending don't really go together.
I'm saying I feel like in some ways I would come off as condescending.
Okay.
Because I don't know.
But how did you like overcome that though? Because just in the event that that's what the person is asking.
Well, 1, I grew taller. 2, I realized that first off, the first person I need to be a friend with is myself, because I realized that I let everyone else's expectations and opinions on me be my rhetoric, and I was like thinking to myself, I generally did not like myself as a human being. As in, I struggled with loving myself. And when I realized that the way, if people heard the way I speak to myself, and if I spoke to other people the way I spoke to myself, I would have no friends. Like, I always judged myself for small, tiny things. I would never cut myself slack in any moment. So first off, I think you need to just essentially find a way to love yourself first, and to give the same type of love that you would give out to everyone else. Give it to yourself first. Prioritize your health, your mental health, your fitness. Just be a kinder person to you first, because you'll never learn how to be kind. First off, if you want to love others, you have to love yourself first. So
know about yourself.
And know about yourself, yeah. So learn your ups and downs, your strengths.
Know who
and
you are in
weaknesses.
Christ.